So anybody, what we have done in the last session? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ರು ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ರು. All of you are getting or not? All of you are getting or not? Ajay Kumar, Ahrar Mohammed, are you getting or not? Please reply, guys.
Getting, sir.
So how many times should I ask me? Anyone can reply, na? Okay. Okay, shall I start the session? Okay, I will just share the screen. So select this, go to share. Okay. So here we have ANSYS workbench. Okay. So next, say in the last session we have seen how to perform static structural analysis and what are all the material properties and how we can define everything we have done, right? So next, the same thing we need to do, but we have to perform modal analysis. See, one thing you just remember, while performing modal analysis, we should not give any external loads because we are finding out the natural frequencies. So we need to constrain it. That's it. We should not give any loading condition. Okay. So if you give loading condition, so before and also before that, you need to find out what is the operating frequency. Usually it is for automotive components. Usually you'll get 60 hertz of natural frequency. Okay. So if sorry, operating frequency, if the 60 hertz is coinciding with the natural frequency, then vibration will occur. Okay, we'll see how to perform that. So same procedure, go to model and drag it here, and you can change the name of that model or analysis type also. See here, so you need to enter the engineering data, double click it. So here, if you want to give any other material, you can give it. Again, click on project. Next, go to import or right click. So today I'm going to finish it off all the things. Okay. So next, go to import, browse. So where you have saved it, select it, open this. Okay. So until it comes right a tick mark, you need to wait. Then double click on this model. So it will take time. See here. So desktop and the license for one or more ANSYS product will expire in 4. Please contact. Okay, let it be. So today in this session we will see how to do modal analysis, how to do buckling analysis, and how to do thermal analysis. Okay. So before doing any type of analysis, you should be clear. You should be clear you should be clearly understand the basic parameters and basic things of the analysis. Suppose if you are doing static structural analysis, you should know what is von Mises stress, okay, what is deformation, what is strain and all. If you are doing thermal analysis, you should know the modes of heat transfer, convection, conduction, radiation. So we are going to do convection heat transfer analysis, conduction and radiation. Okay, we'll see how to do that and what are all the properties we require to perform particular analysis. Okay, so I'll just close this. Okay, here we have, fine, still it is opening. So usually any analysis software will take more time to run. Still, so this is the model. So still it is importing it. Yeah, we have done. Okay. So next, see here. Here everything is same. Just assign the select the type of material. Okay. Then go to meshing here. So right click on the meshing. Okay. Then so don't give right click. Just select the meshing. Here you have element size. So I will give element size as yesterday. How much we have given? 0.5 will give. We'll see. So right click, generate mesh. So we have done with this. So next, as I told you, to perform modal analysis, one thing you need to know what is operating frequency, and another thing is you need to constrain it. So you need to perform. See, especially for this connecting rod, you have to perform modal analysis in two conditions. One is you need to fix this and you need to check the natural frequency. Another one is you need to fix this, then you need to check the natural frequencies. Okay. So and one more thing. So modal analysis will be performed to identify the natural frequency. And according to industrial standards, you need to check first 10 or 5 or 10 natural frequencies. How to get exact first 5 or first 10 natural frequencies? If you go to analysis settings here, okay, if you go to analysis settings, here we have maximum modes to find. Okay, you just select it. If you want 5, you just press 5. If you want 10, you just give 10. I will give 5. Okay, so if you give 5 modes, it will create 5 natural frequencies. For each natural frequency, you will get deformations. Okay, we'll check how to do that. So next what we'll do, we'll fix that. So right click on the model, insert, and we have fixed support. So what I will do, I will select this and this. Okay, and apply. So here we have fixed it. So if you go to geometry, so if even though if it select geometry, it is showing in meshing mode, right? So how to check in geometrical mode? Here you need to switch off this. If you switch off this, you will get it. So if you go to model, see here, if you keep like this, it will be easy to take a screenshot of boundary conditions and you can put it in your report. If it is in this mode, it is very difficult to identify which is fixed. Okay, whenever you put the screenshot in your report. So we have done with this. So only thing is you just go to solution, no need to do anything. 5 modes already we have given and just give solve here. So what is the natural frequency we have? operating frequency we have 60 hertz, right? So all of you got the drawing with respect to your project. Have you got the drawings?
No,
No,
sir.
only few are submitted. What happens, man?
So we are not getting, sir, 3D model,
Which
dimensions
project?
and all.
Which project?
Wishbone.
Wishbone you will get it, man.
No, sir.
I have. I will
Didn't
send
get
you.
that.
You should have to ask now. If you are
Sir,
not.
yesterday I asked you, sir.
Oh, sorry, I
I messaged
forgot.
you.
Yesterday I was full busy. If I won't respond you through WhatsApp, you can call me, man. Huh?
Okay, sir.
I will share. I will share. If I won't share till afternoon, you just give me a call. I will share the paper I have. There you will get the dimensions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you can use that reference and you can
Okay, sir.
modify the design. See, what about other guys? Okay. Those who are interested, they will do. I know. So many of you have, some of you have sent and some of you have not sent anything. Okay, let it be. See here, the solution has been done. But where is the result? So you will get the result in this tabular data. If you click on the tabular data, you have the result here. See, okay, how much natural frequency we are getting? 1817 to 22,000. So how to see this? So once you select all these, right click on this, you just go to create mode shape results. Once you click on create mode shape results, so you'll get everything here. See here, see. So you are not getting, it is in yellow color. Again you need to go to solution, you need to click on evaluate result. So what is the operating speed of aeroplane? That you see, because this connecting rod is aerospace connecting rod. Okay, if it is automotive, you need to consider 60 hertz, but it is aerospace connecting rod. This is having around 1000 hertz like that. So we'll check. See, if you click on total deformation, see you will get the natural frequency of 1817 hertz. So for this particular natural frequency, you have maximum deformation of 733 mm. See, you can observe. So all of you are getting. See here, you can observe the natural frequency. So you can observe the mode shape here. So this is called mode shape. See here. So how it is moving, so that we can see. See, 1 minute. Okay. So once you go to graph here, so you can observe the mode shape. See, so it is moving in this direction. This is the natural frequency. So if you go to total deformation 2, you are getting 713 mm. Okay, how it is moving? It is moving in this direction. So we can check it. See, see like this. So this is the natural frequency. If this natural frequency coincides with the operating frequency, then resonance occurs. So if you go to 3, see, it is twisting moment. We'll call it, see, this is translation along x-axis. See, you observe, you have to mention the report, mention in the report the mode 1 shape of natural frequency of mode 1 is 1817 hertz, and the deformation, the mode shape will be in translation along, sorry, translation along x-axis. Okay, then we have twisting about z-axis. See, you observe here. So this is the twisting moment. Okay. Next, when it comes to total deformation 4, so we have both twisting as well as translation. See here. No, only translation we have. In some cases, you will get both modes. See. Next, we have this. Sorry. Okay. So this is how you have to find out, and you need to take a screenshot of this, of each mode, and you need to write the report, the translation mode. If it is going to see here, we are getting mode 1 is around C 1817 hertz. Right? As I told you, around 800 or 900 hertz is there for aerospace. Okay, so if the natural frequency whatever you are getting is around so suppose if you have an operating frequency of 900 hertz, if the natural frequency is getting 915 or in between nearer to 900, then we can say that the component can vibrate and it may fail. If it is beyond, see it is beyond, right, 22,000. If it is going beyond, then we can say that the resonance may not occur. See, you will get an example. So whenever you are riding a bike, you will give accelerator, right? Okay. So initially you are going to give slowly, so you won't feel any vibration. So once it reaches certain speed, the operating frequency and the natural frequency, whatever the frequencies will develop in two-wheeler, in some speed, in certain point, you will get some vibration, right? Okay. So even though if it is vibrating, if you increase accelerator still more, again the vibration will stop. That is the concept you need to understand. So that is because of coinciding between natural frequency as well as operating frequency, right? Okay, so like this you need to perform. And one more thing I will tell you, here you are getting how many frequencies? See, it is starting from 1800, right? So one more thing you can find out, if you want to find out the natural frequency range, suppose if you are having a frequency of 800 operating frequency, if you want to find out a frequency between 500 hertz to 1500 hertz, you can easily get it. How? You go to analysis settings here, you have checked 5, right? What I will do, I will go to limit search range. It is in no, right? You just give S here. Here you can give. So I want to check from 0 hertz to 1000 hertz. I will give 1200 would be better. See, if there is a natural frequency in between these two range, definitely you will get the natural frequency. If you won't get any natural frequency in between these two natural frequency, you won't get. Okay, so we'll see. So what I will do, I will just delete these things. Okay, fine. So have you given this? Yeah, yes, 0 to 1200. So again go to solutions here, right click, solve. So we'll see. So all of you are getting. So ಒಬ್ಬರಾದ್ರೂ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. All of you are getting.
Sir.
Good, good, very good, very good. See here, it has been solved, but here we are not getting any frequency. If we go to this, see, that means we don't have any frequency in between this. So again what I will do, I will give from 2000. So now again I will solve. Sorry, not evaluate. Right click, solve. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow I am going to finish this internship program. So it's not like that everything has finished. You need to submit weekly once, a review will be there. Okay. So at least 2 to 3 reviews I will do. So what you need to do is whatever the project I have given you, you have to do it and submit it. Okay. So if in any situation, if you find difficulty, if you have any notes, you can contact me. So again, I will come on Zoom and I will solve the problem. See here, if you go to tablet data, I have only one natural frequency. Great. Okay. Only one natural frequency in between these. Got it. Any doubts? So
No, sir.
this is how you can perform modal analysis, and these are the parameters you need to consider while solving while performing modal analysis. All of you got it?
Yes,
So
sir.
okay, I will close this. So next we will see how to perform buckling analysis. Before that, we should understand what is buckling analysis. See, buckling analysis is nothing but a larger deformation due to small load, and it may fail. Okay, due to larger deformation, the material may fail, and this can be done only for the larger components, longer components, not larger, longer components. Like for connecting rod also we can do it. So I will show you. And before that, you should understand the basic concepts of the connecting rod. Okay, so I will show you how to do that. So what you can do, so I will open one project, sorry, I will open one report. So already I think I have explained you, sorry. So here, SCA online intensity. Yeah, see, but see why we need to perform buckling analysis? To identify the critical buckling load. Okay, so what is the critical? So what is the load which can buckle the component, which can impact the larger deformation in the component? To find out the buckling factor, we have some equations. By using those equations, you need to find out. So we are going to find out the buckling factor using those equations. Okay. So for that, I have see here. So I have shared you this crankshaft, right? Crankshaft report. So in that I have done.
Yes, sir.
In that we have done buckling analysis itself. Yeah. Okay. Fine. All of you are getting this. See here. See, buckling is defined a mode of failure under compression. Only we where we have compression loads for larger members. Okay. So next, why buckling? Everything I have explained you. So here, what you have to do is, see. So buckling load we need to find out. Okay. So how to find out? So we have an equation called load applied into lambda. So lambda is nothing but buckling factor. In analysis, while doing analysis, you won't get buckling load. You will get a load factor. Whatever the load factor you will get, you need to multiply with load applied, and you will get buckling load. Okay. All of you got it? So note down this equation. I have shared you, but anyhow, if you want to note down, you just note down. Lambda, that is buckling factor into load applied. Okay. So here, so we have applied a load. See, we have applied a load. Fixed support. Force we have given 1 Newton. We have given. Okay. So here we are getting load multiplier is nothing but load factor. Okay. Fine. We'll see. So again, we'll come back to ANSYS. So initially, what you have to do, you need to perform first static structural analysis, to do buckling analysis. Go to static structural. So go to geometry, right click, import geometry, browse, and I will select connecting rod. So then double click it. See one more report which I have sent you. One is crankshaft, another one
Fin, sir.
fins. Okay, okay. Yeah, fine. See now we have got the model. Okay. So same thing, nothing. You just element size as 0.5 and do it generate mesh. Fine. You just observe here. So what I will do, I will fix. See here also you will get fixed support. If you just right click, here also you will get orange. If you want shortcut, go to fix, select this and fix it, apply. Okay. So this is all. Next, what I am going to do, so right click on the static structural. Here you have called what load we need to apply. Go to force here, select this. Only you need to select this and apply. So here, which is the what is the direction you are getting? So direction will give Z direction. Go to vector here. Go to component in Z direction. You need to give Z. How much? I will give 1000. Sorry, I will give 1 Newton first. So what we will do? So right click here. We'll give total deformation. Right click. We'll give stresses and solve it. See here we have I have given 1 Newton. That's it. So initially you need to check for 1 Newton. So totally negligible stresses you will get. See, you got 0.0000 something. Okay. So once you perform this static structural, you just minimize this. Again, you come back to this project page. Here you have eigenvalue buckling, right? All of you getting? All of you are getting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go to eigenvaluability, drag this and place this in the solution mode. Okay. So both will link together. See, this is very important. See, both will link together. See, everything it has been linked. So again, you come back to this. Here you will get, see, all of you getting. See eigenvalue backlink, static, both you are getting. What you need to do is again you just go to analysis settings, maximum modes to find. You just, if you want 4 you can give 4. So you'll get buckling factor. Okay, So suppose usually we'll find out 4 buckling factor. So and then right click solve. So for unit load I am calculating. Okay. So just to understand the concept I am showing you. So after this, if you refer the crankshaft report, you will clear. So you will get some clarification with respect to this. So it will take time because at a time we are running 2 analysis, right? 2 solutions. So that's why it will take time. Fine. See, this already we have done. But for unit load, for eigenvalue buckling, you have to follow the same procedure. So in eigenvalue buckling, you can't give any force or loads. Whatever the load you have given in the static only, same procedure you need to follow if you want to do buckling analysis. See here, where is the solution? So if you go to tabular data, here you have. So these are the load multipliers. That means buckling load factor. This you need to multiply with the load applied. That means the buckling load is, see, this is unit load we have given, right? So what is the buckling load? So this is 9,954 Newton is the buckling load. So now what I will do, I will give the particular load. Suppose the load, again go to force, you can change the load here. So here what I will give, I will give 1000 Newtons. Okay. Then right click on the solution and solve it. So we'll check what is the buckling load. So while making a report for each, say suppose if you are using different materials, for different materials, you just select it, you can take a snap, and you have to use those equations, and you need to write the buckling load. If you are getting lesser buckling load for the particular, that means it may fail early. If you are getting larger buckling load, that means material can withstand more load. Okay, this is very important. if if you have applied 1000 Newton, if your buckling load is getting around 500, means there is a waste of that is the design is improper. Okay, if you are getting a buckling load of 1500 2000 newtons buckling load, that means it can withstand. So here if it has been solved, see here you are getting load multiplier 9954. We have applied a load of 1000 Newton. If you multiply this applied load with load multiplier, what will be the buckling load? What will be the buckling load? 9000, right? All of you are there or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So 9000 Newton is a buckling load. It can withstand whatever the load we have applied. If it is getting, so if the load is applied 1000 Newton, if you are getting zero point 0.5 load multiplier, if you multiply with the load applied, it will get around 500 Newton. That means whatever the load we have applied, that will not withstand in at any point. Okay, all of you got it now? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. See here, if you apply this, see here, here what I will give instead of 1000, I will give 10,000. We'll check whether it will withstand or not. So, see here, you can check the total deformation also. Okay. If you go to total deformation, see, and then right click and solve. So, usually we'll find out the buckling factor. That's it. So all of you are getting, I'm explaining you. Okay, yesterday we had done static structural. So today we are done with modal analysis and buckling analysis. So tomorrow we will see thermal analysis. So here, if you go to tabular, see here how much we are getting. How much we are getting? 0.9. If you multiply this 0.9 with 10,000, so whatever the load we have applied for that particular load itself, it will fail. It will buckle. Okay, all of you got idea, right? So you can extract this. Right click on this. You can create a mode shapes. See here, same as it is what you have done in model. See, right click, evaluate result. So you can check. So for this particular, see load multiplier we are getting this much. So this is the deformation we are getting, and for this we are getting 1.06 deformation. See like this. So this is the buckling load. See, if you check, see this is the buckling load. See, if I am going to apply load, it is going to buckle. Okay, so use this. All of you got it? Any doubts? Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will just close this. So can you perform with respect to your project? Can you do it? So first you just create 3D model. So I will share the video also. You can follow the video to solve the problems, and you can refer the reports whatever I have sent you. Okay. And first, see, at least 3 reviews I will do after completion of this internship program. So first, all of you should submit the 3D model. Second, see, already all of you have submitted the introduction and literature part. So try to write methodology, objectives and methodology. I will see. So by today, all of you should send objectives and methodology. So what you are going to do in the particular project, I want your idea. What objective what objective of your project, and what is the methodology you are adopting. So all of you will send. Okay. Respond, man. All of you are sleeping or what? So switch on your videos. Ashwin, Manoj, ನಿಮಗೆ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಶ್ವಿನ್?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
3 ವರ್ಷ
ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಂತನಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಹಂಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ.
ಈಗೆದ್ದ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, 6 ಎದ್ದಿದ್ದು.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ 6 ಎದ್ದಿ?
ವಾಕಿಂಗ್.
ಗುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್. ಮನೋಜ್, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀನು ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ. Vinod, where are you? Okay. So all of you, I hope everybody has understood all the concepts. Okay. So I will just share the video. So you just refer it. So by today evening, all of you should send objectives and methodology of your project. Okay. If you find any difficulty, you can contact me. Okay. Shall I wind up the session? Shall I wind up the session?
Sir.
Any doubts? Okay, thank you.